So we are going to get started. Hello everyone and welcome to Radiant Love's Love Talk. My name is Angel D. Thomas and I am the founder and CEO of Radiant Love, which was established in 2017. Radiant Love exemplifies the power of boldness, beauty, and self-confidence. I want to encourage everyone to be the best version of themselves. Y'all be bold, y'all be beautiful, y'all be you. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and in May of 2015, my mother-in-law was diagnosed with breast cancer and underwent a double mastectomy. She is an extremely strong woman, and her story encouraged me to start the 23-day of Love Talk Challenge in efforts to raise money for the Knitted Knockers Foundation. Knitted Knockers are a handmade breast prosthesis for anyone that has undergone a mastectomy or any type of breast procedure. I'm asking my supporters to support me in this cause, one by tuning in all month long to Love Talk and also donating $23 to Radiant Love, which will be donated to the Knitted Knockers Foundation. My goal is to raise at least $600, and with the help of you all, I know that that is possible. So joining us tonight on Love Talk is Sunj. Let's add her on now. Hey.
So,
How?
I want to say that thank you for doing this. Like, Black women is strongly, they need it. And a lot of us, we don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe in the ability to change. So I just want to commend you for all that you do here, Angel, because it does matter and you are making a difference.
Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you. And when I spoke with you on the phone, I just felt your energy. And I just want to tell you that you are an amazing person. And I can't wait to meet you in person. But just from our phone conversation and the conversations that we had, it was amazing. I felt the energy in just the conversations.
As well as, yes,
thank you. And I just want to thank you for being a guest here on Love Talk. And even bringing up the topic that we're going to talk about today, because I wasn't familiar with it, but you introducing it to me it means a lot, because I'm a student of life and I love to learn new things. And I'm just so excited about today. I can't wait. So we're just going to go ahead on and get started.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're really clear. You're good.
Okay.
So everyone, this is Sunj Marie Victor. So Sunj is from New Orleans, Louisiana, and a proud member of the Zeta Phi Beta sorority. During her upbringing, Sunj was introduced to the enchanting art of music by her grandmother. At the tender age of 4, she was given her first solo entitled Because of Who You Are, which was merely the beginning of an emerging vocalist. It wasn't until she attended the great Old Perry Walker College and Career Preparatory High School that she fully embarked on her calling and love for music. In 2013, Sunj was awarded the Gospel is Alive Award in conjunction with the Jazz Fest due to her faithfulness and endearment to the art. In 2017, Sunj received her music vocal performance degree from Dillard University and ultimately wishes to pursue a career in operatic, right? That's how you pronounce it?
Yes.
And operatic singing, with the desire to travel and heal the world with her gift of music, all while giving God his much due and deserving praise. Yes, ma'am. Yes. And I just want to tell you that I am an EK alumni, so it's EK all day.
You know, you get a pass because my brother, he's also an EK alumni. He graduated in 2007. You may know him.
I was in 12. I graduated in 2012.
Oh.
Yeah. So he was a little before me.
Yeah, a bit.
So you began singing since at the age of 4. And your music abilities have taken different heights. So what is your style of singing?
So I've grown up on gospel, no doubt. Lately, that's exactly what I've been singing. I've been leading worship sometimes. And as far as the type, I don't necessarily have a favorite, but one that I do use frequently is gospel, because I've grew up on it, and it impacts me in a different way than most music. And it's not because it's spiritual music. is because it connects to my spirit. And it can be jazz. It's the same effect, you know? And I think that gospel is more so me because I'm motivational, and I it's just the type of person, the type of light that I shine upon others. I can't, for the life of me, I had a gig, and it was on Freshman. I could not get with singing R&B. Like it doesn't. I could do it, but I don't have a passion for it. So, I think that gospel plays a big part in my life. I listen to it all day, every day.
And artists usually have people that they look up to. So who are some of your musical inspirations?
So I have one that is living, of course, but one that's more personal. His name is Joseph Knox Sr. He was my high school choir director. I still work with him from time to time. He's the reason why I connected to music in the first place. And I'm gonna go with Mahalia Jackson because man, I feel like I was born in the wrong era. Like I cannot for the life of me understand why I don't fit in. Like that's the only reason I could come up with. I'm born in the wrong era. I know people like to be around me. I know people love my energy and things like that, but there are very few people that actually like you as a person, and they want you to thrive, and they want the best for you. And I want those type of people in my life. So, back to what I was saying. I'm sorry, Mahalia Jackson. I've listened to her while I was growing up. My grandmother, she played a lot of classical music as well. Another one would be India Ari.
I love some India.
Take my glasses off for this one. So India, she just possesses this sweet, vibrant. I can't explain it, but it feels like she's been through everything that I've been through. Like I can relate to so much of her music. So Mahalia Jackson and India Ari would definitely be my top two.
I love India Ari, and she actually just her new album. There's a song called "What If." I want everybody to go listen to "What If." Somebody put me on "What If," and I listen to that, and that song makes me go harder. It makes me go harder with "Love Talking Radiant Love." That is just a powerful song in itself.
It is.
Oh my goodness, she is just amazing. I love India Ari. And in 2016 and 2017 school year, while you were in Dillard, you were chosen among 15 to sing in Atlanta for the UNCF Night of Stars behind Jussie Smollett and Estelle. So how was that experience for you?
Well, first of all, I was girl fanning. I said that right? Fangirl or whatever. I was all over everybody, all the stars. Toni Braxton, she blew a kiss at me. I was just like, oh my God. But other than the stardom and just being around all the stars, like I could really see myself doing that for a living. And that actually pushed me to become where I am now. Like being around so many people who are successful, and oh my God, like the background, there's this lady, I forget her name, but she has a company for background singers, right? And she plugged them in wherever. She knows Tasha Cobbs.
Okay.
Personally. And I connected with her or whatever. But you know, some things it takes time. I'm not gonna say it didn't work out, but some things take time, and she gonna know my name. Oh, she gonna know it. But anyway, I was just so astonished. Like she was teaching us parts. She read. Jesus, what's the word I'm looking for? Now it's not the time to black out. So forget all of that. But she was the one that showed me that your dreams can come true if you put in the actual work. Because she was saying how she started off backgrounding for people, you know, and she was in her prime. She's in her 30s. I'm pretty sure she's like closer to her 40s now. But as a young Black woman, I would like to be aligned with those type of women. But I don't want to be in my prime just getting started. You know what I mean? So, huh, that whole experience, it just proved to me that I know God is real and God will do whatever it is that He need, whatever I need done in that time. So, with that opportunity, I felt like a celebrity myself. I ain't paid
Like,
for no flight. I didn't have to pay for anything. Okay, so that opportunity just showed me what I could do.
yes, and you belong there. And like you said, you have to work for what you want. A lot of people believe that, okay, I want this, I want this, I
Yeah.
want this, and they just pray for it and pray for it. But you have to put in that work too. You
Yes,
have
ma'am.
to, have to, have to. And like you said, you belong there. So keep pushing because you will be there.
I'm a try.
You will. Now, I want to dive into the heart of today's topic.
Okay.
Today's topic is soul ties, and that's SOULTIES. And like I said, I don't have a lot of knowledge on it, but I did do some research on it. So, whether you are a religious person or not, soul ties is a theory that can be explained and understood by anyone. And correct me if I say anything wrong. Just correct me. So it's the idea that certain actions can connect you to a person and cause you to bond in a way that is not easily broken.
Yes.
It's the physical act of giving yourself to another person that makes you vulnerable to such a connection.
Yes.
And typically, soul ties are said to come from sex. It is fairly easy to recognize healthy and emotionally rich soul ties, but it's not as easy to identify the unhealthy soul ties.
Right.
So, what are some signs of unhealthy soul ties?
So some signs of unhealthy soul ties would be, well, first and foremost, let me just say this. Soul ties, it is not just you having sex with a person. They can be developed through time and spending whatever your love language is, you can develop a soul tie through that. My love language is spending quality time. I feel like if I don't spend enough time with a person, I don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
And you clearly you won't know me. So, yes. Some signs of an unhealthy soul tie would be you spend a lot of time with the person, and then when you leave, it's like they never left. Their presence is still with you. Some people be like, I'm in love, but I would like to determine what's love and what's a soul tie. Um, the connection that you have with a person, it could be intimate, it could be sexual, but even when you're not feeling like yourself, like a part of you is missing, that's another what you said was some unhealthy soul ties. What you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm gonna give you an example. So a relationship that I was in previously, it was like I didn't want him to leave. Like I yearned for him to be with me. And
Mm-hmm.
this was a little bit before we started having sex, but once we started having sex was good too. I ain't gonna say it. It it just, let me say this. I didn't know who I was after we started having sex. Like I just
Mm-hmm.
knew what I wanted. And I just after that period, I keep on doing it and I keep on doing it and I keep on doing it. It became my everyday life. And
Mm-hmm.
it got so hard for me to get out of that. So um I had a biblical reference, but I was trying to do some research before we got on live. There's this, I'm not entirely sure if it's correct, but I feel like I should still say it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for 1 Corinthians 6:18, flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person is outside the body, but the sexual immoral person sins against his own body. So, we're not talking about sins right now. We're just talking about what can happen when you let someone else in and
Mm-hmm.
how it can affect you internally, not just
Mm-hmm.
physically. And as far as the soul ties relates to sex, that's where it's created, but it's not where it stops. I think that, okay, I'm looking at my notes. I think that when having sex with someone, um, we gotta teach them things, right? And they know our bodies once we teach them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you're connected to a person on that type of level, because we know sex is a stressful level or whatever it could be, but at the end of the day, when you're having, especially unprotected sex, when you're having unprotected sex, it it creates uh it creates a bond that is created on not just intimacy, but knowing a person mentally,
Mm-hmm.
knowing them from the soul. And
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, I think that when a person is considered connected to me, they pick up all of the things that I say or things that I do, or for instance, the last relationship I was in, he used to make fun of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever they would do something, like he would always point out what they doing. I grew accustomed to that. Like being around him for that long period of time, or however long we was around each other, I started picking that up because I thought that it was okay, all because of how he was making me feel. That's
So,
how. Hmm?
so a negative soul tie could cause you to pick up on the negative traits of that person.
Most definitely.
Okay. Okay. And I want you to send me that verse that you quoted, because I'm gonna do my own research on it. I want
Okay.
so send me that too a little later, once we get off live.
Okay. Okay. No doubt.
And the topic of soul ties came up because you believe that talking through your pain will be the best way to help yourself and to help others. So how has unhealthy soul ties affected your life?
Oh Lord Jesus. So it honestly, Angel, I'm gonna like tell you a testimony, and I really hope the three people that's watching this, I truly hope that this helps you and you can help someone else. So I have wanted to commit suicide because of the soul ties that I had. And it doesn't have to be with a relationship. It can be with your friends. It can be with people who, your business partners, or who you feel can get you to a next level, who can elevate you, you know? And this caused me to think about the type of person that I was being at the time, right? I'm more cautious now, and because I'm more mindful. So, uh, I'm going to just talk about the insecurities that I used to have and me not believing in myself. So, even that, my partner gave me his traits and I gave him his and I gave him mine. Like, all the things that I feel or have felt, I put that in a ball. It's in a pit of my stomach. Okay. And with sex and intimacy, I let some of it go. It went to the next vessel. And it can happen through talking to, okay, when I said about when I said about having the connections with your friends or whatever, an unhealthy soul tie with your friends, it can be an unhealthy relationship, like what y'all do on a day-to-day basis. It all falls down to what that person plays a part in your life. Um, but I ended up losing myself completely. I want to say that because I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself after college. I didn't know where I wanted to go. God made way, but I didn't know none of these things. And it was because of the ties that I had with other people. Like I thought that this person could get me this, and I thought this person could get me that. So I wasn't conscious of my selfishness, right?
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was selfish, but I didn't know what the traits that played a part in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, um, people can be selfish but not be conscious about it. It's
Right.
self-conscious, you know, like you're gonna automatically think this because of your background. You're gonna automatically do something because of your history, your childhood, or whatever. Um, I can say that I had abandonment issues and trust issues. I still got it, just a little bit. Um, but I think it's because of the people who I grew up with, and my mother. My mother, she's a drug addict, and that played a big role in my abandonment issues, right? Like everybody's mom is coming to PTO meetings and doing all kinds of. My dad, he was in my life, but he wasn't there. Okay, like I knew he
Mm-hmm.
existed. He would he had to send them child support checks. You know what I'm saying? Um, but after all of that, we established a relationship. But I'm a grown woman now. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, I feel like those those people who I were tied to, they I'm gonna say this. Um, I used to have unhealthy soul ties because of the person that I was. Um, I was selfish, trying to take things and not earn them. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't conscious of the type of love that I was giving out and the type of love that I expected back. I just, I was the type of person that sex, if you give me that, I'm good. You know, like it wasn't a, I want all of that. I want the love and everything else because I'm gonna share this with you also. My brother he got killed a few years ago, and I was pouring all of my anger and pain and emotions out on this one guy. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
the way that I was grieving, it was not healthy. It
Mm-hmm.
it affected me mentally. First, it affected me physically. Like things about my
Mm-hmm.
body started to change. And it wasn't just this guy that I was having sex with. Well, at that time, yes. But after him, no, before him, I'm sorry. Before him, I was having sex with multiple people. You know, like the year 2016, that is when I broke my virginity. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say like January, February. I held my virginity until I was 21. I felt like I knew what I wanted then, but I definitely didn't know what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This guy that broke my virginity, he didn't really want me per se, or he we were friends, but and it was a guy that I liked in high school. So I was like, oh, I'm about to get this dude. You know, this is it. This is my time. I was 21. I was grown, so I was just like, okay, that's it. That's my hoop. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. He went back to his ex, and then after he left his ex, he came back to me, and I was a duck for him because I loved the sex. I loved how he made me feel. Um,
It was that
I
soul
just
tie.
sexually, he would dedicate to my needs on some real spill, like text me good morning, or those little tangible things. Not just sex is what creates soul ties. Like I said, um, consistency, it creates soul ties as well. Um, right now I'm dating this guy, and I find myself thinking about him when I'm not supposed to be thinking about him, and we've never had sex ever. I don't I don't think that it's unhealthy. It's it's a cycle that I have to really break. So this
Now,
guy is a test.
well, correct me if I'm wrong. Soul ties, there can be good and bad soul
Yes.
ties, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
it can.
okay. Positive and negative. Okay, I just wanted
Yes.
to clear the air because I just thought all soul ties were negative. So that's not true. It's
No, no,
positive
no.
and negatives.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um
okay.
Healthy soul ties is a balance,
Mm-hmm.
basically. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Too
Mm-hmm.
much of a bad thing, you ultimately know the consequences behind that. But if you invest your time, it's all about the time that you invest. It's all about yeah, and it's about your love language too. um I was having a conversation with a friend, I think it was a few weeks ago, and he was telling me about all of the problems that he was having in his relationship. But it all was things that happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So he's with his, significant other right now, but it's like he can't he can't break the cycle because of the issues that they have. And when I say issues, I trust issues
Mm-hmm.
mostly, because if a person can't be too blah, 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 blah. If a person is too far from you and you can't touch them, and the one thing you think about is what they doing and who they with, that's a controlling spirit, and that's soul tie. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you can't be without this person, you need this person, then that is an unhealthy soul tie. But if you can conduct an everyday life without this person, and that's another reason why I feel like my soul tie with my significant other right now, he, yeah, it's definitely healthy because we don't talk the whole day. We used to talk every day, all day, no matter if he was at work or whatever. But now it's like we talk when we can, you know. It's not a everyday want. Every day,
Mm-hmm.
well, no, it's everyday want, but it's not an everyday need. And another
Yes.
positive, huh?
Oh no,
I
no.
know we don't really have that much time, and I want to touch on everything. Um,
But I want to go back to when we were talking about the unhealthy soul ties.
okay,
And the good thing about a problem is that there's always a solution.
right.
And sometimes the solution can be painful and sometimes it's very hard to achieve, but it's necessary. So, what are some ways that someone that has an unhealthy soul tie with someone could release themselves from bondage to begin having a healthy life?
So, I'm going to answer this question from a personal preference, because it all depends on the person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Other than repentance and asking the Lord for forgiveness, honestly, separate yourself. Like, you have to. What I did was I deleted him on all of my social media. I didn't want to see him on my social media. I didn't want to see him in person. I isolated myself completely. Like, even the friends that we were associated with. Now, there were a few times where we ended up being in the same room, and you know, nah,
Mm-hmm.
couldn't
Mm-hmm.
coexist because it was just the way it ended. It was just too much. That's another thing too. Your soul ties, the way you end relationships, it definitely relates to your soul tie and
Mm-hmm.
the effect that it has on you, or the effect that person had or has on you.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things I'm still trying to unlearn. There's another thing, you have to unlearn that behavior. One thing that I do, I watch old videos and old pictures of myself, and I write down some of the things that I remembered that I had. And it sounds kiddish, but it really helps. Like,
Mm-hmm.
on my Instagram, it's not an everyday thing, but on my Instagram, that's why I leave all those pictures up, just so I could look at my journey, you know. And a lot of people, they feel like because of where they are, they can't get further, and that's not even the case. It's not even the case. Um, there's something I want to say. Um, Giving yourself to someone who doesn't meet you halfway, that can also tear you away from the person that you really truly want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and once you give yourself to that person, it's gonna be hard to take some back, because you can't take away the tangible things that you have already given, because it's
Right.
tangible. You can't touch it. You can't
Right.
you can't get the time. You can't get the joy, the laughter. You can't get any of that back. You're gonna have all of those memories and that soul tie. You know what I'm saying? And I realized that I don't want to answer any questions before you ask. So I'm gonna stay in a bracket. Um,
No, go ahead. You can go with it. You
I
can go
can't.
with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Lowering your standards. how I feel real personal about that, because I definitely lowered my standards for someone, and it affected the relationships that I had with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because they knew me as a person, and they knew that person wasn't for me. They knew
Mm-hmm.
that, and I didn't believe because of what that person was giving me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I once you feel comfortable and complacent, you're not gonna want to change things, even about yourself. Like if that person wants you to change yourself, you will. But if that person is fine with the way that you are, you're going to become complacent, and you're lowering your standards for that person. Like, I had, when I was in middle school, there was a lady, she told me to write down all the things that I desire, all the things that I want, right? Especially in a man.
Mm-hmm.
And put it in the Bible. Come back a few years and change it, and see if it's, still according or whatever. She said that she did this, and she met, well, her man met her, should I say that? Um, and they've been married for, I guess, a little over 20 years now, because this was when I was in middle school. This was like during Katrina or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. But she was telling me that not only do we have to pray about the man that we want, but we have to manifest those exact same things that we want in that man in ourselves. And I didn't do that until 2 years ago. Like,
Mm-hmm.
some of my friends could say that they feel like I've changed, which I have tremendously. Man, when I was in high school, I was a firecracker. I changed in a good way, and I also changed in a bad way. I started caring what people think. This is after I started, interacting with my ex. And this is how unhealthy the soul tie was. Um, I was changing things about myself, about my wardrobe. Um, and then I even changed my hair color. Um, I didn't. I wanted to change my hair color, but at the end of the day, I really truly regret it, because
Mm-hmm.
Angel, you look so beautiful in this light, sis. Like,
Oh, thank you.
I, I like your natural hair color. There's nothing like it, and I feel like, uh, I just regret it so much.
No,
I,
I'm gonna be
I
honest.
look good with, with colored hair.
This not my natural hair color. My natural hair color is sandy brown. I
What?
dye my hair black so that it can look healthy. So black is not my natural hair color. I dye
Well,
it
it
black.
looks amazing.
Thank
And the next
you.
time you're down here, you need to go see my girl Nia.
Oh yeah, she did my hair for the wedding. Yes, for my wedding, she did my hair. She's a dog. Yes.
That's my girl. That's my girl. I ain't
Yes.
got the money right now, but I'm going to see her real soon.
She's a dog, the best in New Orleans, hands down.
Yes.
So we're just gonna kind of switch the topic a little bit, and we're gonna talk about domestic violence.
Okay.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but it is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Uh-huh.
And just a disclaimer, this is a very sensitive topic, and I'm just throwing it out there. Domestic violence is a sensitive topic. I also want to send condolences to anyone that has lost someone to domestic violence. So I just want to put that in the atmosphere, and just send that love to anyone who has lost someone who has been affected by domestic violence. And according to NCADV.org, on average, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the United States. That equates to 10 million women and men in 1 year. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men experience severe intimate partner physical violence. And I'm not a professional by any means when it comes to this, but I did look up some resources for anyone that knows anyone or is going through domestic violence. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is a 24-hour confidential service for survivors, victims, and those affected by domestic violence, intimate partner violence, and relationship abuse. The hotline advocates are available at 1-800-799-7233 and through online chatting at www.hotline.org. And I will post all that information on my page. Again, I am not an expert, but I did look up some resources, and I did give them out, and I will post them on my page. So when it comes to domestic violence, how could someone having a negative soul tie with someone affect a person from leaving a situation?
So being spiritually and emotionally connected to someone, you automatically feel the things that they feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then soul ties, they manifest into something physical and abusive, even verbal. I found myself in a situation where um, this nigga, he was like, this is a different nigga. He was like, nobody wants you but me, so it don't even matter at this point. So you either gonna be with me or you gonna be lonely. And because I was young, I believed it. Because I didn't know any better, I definitely believed it. All those things manifest into abuse. Um, and I can remember a time a few years ago, like 2 years ago, where I put my hands on somebody. And it was because of how they made me feel. He had that much control over me to where I felt like I was about to lose it. You know, when a person draws you, remember what I said? I wanted to commit suicide because of one person. That's domestic violence, like causing harm to someone you love or supposedly love. That soul ties relates to this because when a person is controlling you, no matter if it's physically, emotionally, no matter what it is, you are not in charge of your emotions anymore.
And I just wanna put it out there. Domestic violence is not just physical abuse. You can be mentally abused, you can be financially abused. When
Yeah.
I say financially abused, that's someone having financial power over you and saying, I control all the funds and you can't do this. So it's different types of abuse besides just physical. Okay.
Um, I had a friend that she had a baby for this guy, and it was her first love. It was a high school love. She felt like she couldn't meet anyone else, and she felt like she couldn't love anybody else. She had given so much to this guy for a long period of time, from high school to, I'm not gonna say now because she's not with this guy anymore. But it was recently. I was still in college when she was still messing around with this guy. But yeah, it was like she didn't have control over what she could do, where
Mm-hmm.
she could go. Um, Even if I could come over. And I'm a big girl. She be cooking. I like to eat. I had to ask him if I could come over, and it it was just too much, and it was a very abusive relationship. Now that I think about it, because she couldn't do anything without him lifting a finger for her. Um, and another thing is, hold on.
And I
Ah.
also noticed that a lot of people, well, I'm not gonna say a lot of people, from what I've not experienced but saw for myself, a
Mhm.
lot of people who are going through domestic violence, sometimes they're afraid to speak out and they're afraid to let people know what's going on and seek that help. And like I did give that hotline out earlier,
Mhm.
y'all use it.
Please,
Use your resources. Don't
please.
feel like you can't and there's no way, because there's always a way. Always. And again, I just want to send those condolences to anyone that has been a victim of domestic violence. And domestic violence does not just happen to women; it also happens to men. So to anyone, it can happen to anyone. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You good. Um, but being misinformed, and misinformed can mean your partner not being totally honest with you, or you avoiding the signs because they are there. You get warning signs. When a person has a controlling spirit, you notice it. But some people turn blind eye to it because they think that they can change a person.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a firm believer that only God can really, truly change a situation around. Okay. Um, and people who left a relationship, what was the thought I just had? People who left their relationship, like if they successfully left their relationship, no matter how they left it, they are connected to a person. And if you hop and go get in different, even if you're just having sex, even if you hop and go get in something else, you're just creating more ties. And you are giving somebody else what you got from that person. And I'm not just talking about STDs, okay? You take on so many traits from a person, not just negative. It could be the positive too. It really can, because it has happened to me. Um, I I was a positive person, but I didn't really believe it. Okay, there's a difference between speaking into existence and believing it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I did. That was a person that wasn't a believer, but now, oh, now that I've seen it manifest in myself, I can believe. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but as far as a person leaving that relationship, the presence is still there because you went through something with that person. You're gonna learn it. So how else will you get rid of the traits that you learned? Like
Mm-hmm.
you 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 learn somebody else's way of living, not your own, because of
Mm-hmm.
the things that you wanted from that person,
Mm-hmm.
or the things that
Mm-hmm.
you needed from that person.
And again, I just want to put that hotline information out there. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is a 24-hour confidential service for survivors, victims, and those affected by domestic violence, immediate partner violence, intimate partner violence, and relationship abuse. The hotline advocates are available at 1-800-799-7233 and through online chatting at www.thehotline.org. Y'all use these resources. If you know someone that may need these resources, help them out. You don't have to do it. You don't have to broadcast it, and you don't have to post it everywhere, because a lot of time, well, all the time, this stuff needs to be, handled on a personal level. Because a lot of times with social media and everything, we want to handle things on a worldwide level, and that's not where we need to keep this. So y'all, just, if you know someone that is going through this, or if you're going through this, use these resources. Do not feel like you're alone. I'm all about putting those positive vibes out there.
Amen.
And so we were talking about these negative soul ties and everything, but we're going to end on a positive note. And I just want to let y'all know that y'all are amazing, amazing people. No matter what is trying to tear y'all down, what is trying to bring you down, keep fighting the fight. Because guess what? We all go through things.
Yes.
As positive as I am, I constantly go through things. I go through my own mental battles. But I know that I am a powerful person. I know that I'm a beautiful person. And I know what I'm worthy of. So y'all know your worth. Know that you are worthy. Do not lower your standards for anyone or anything. If anything, you need to bring them, you need to tell them you're going to meet me here, or you're not going to meet me at all.
Hallelujah.
Period. That's what it needs to be. Period. So know that y'all are some beautiful, beautiful people, and just continue to just be great. And I am just so excited that we even talked about soul ties, because like I told you, I really didn't even know about it. And I really learned some very, very insightful things. And I'm going to go and do some more research on the topic. And I want you also to send me that scripture that you quoted earlier, because I'm going to do some research on that. I'm going to go to my mama and my mother-in-law and everybody and ask them, what does this mean? And I'm really going to do some more research on it. We're going to have another love talk on this.
Of course.
Yes, without a doubt, without a doubt. So my philosophy is be bold, be beautiful, be you. I literally say this all day. I have it written at home, at work, all over my mirrors, everywhere, and I encourage it to everyone. So what is the philosophy that you stand on and live by?
Be honest, be true to yourself, and be resilient. Because anytime we fall, we got to get back up. And if we stay down, we got to learn how to get back up. I know there are many times where I've been in a situation where I didn't know what was going to happen next. And God will step in and he'll take the wheel, like, no doubt. Just to give you a brief testimony, my house got broken into in 2015. I was there all alone. I text my brother. Sometimes he used to bring people to the house, and I thought that that was him and his friends downstairs making all that noise, but it was two boys robbing us, and those boys had guns. When I text my brother, he came. He ended up getting shot. He ended up tussling with the gun with the boy. I called the ambulance. Um, he had got home. He was in the hospital for a while, but he has his life, and he has three children, three beautiful children. And you know, I didn't know. I thought all of that was my fault, but everything is aligned in divine order. My brother had to go through that to learn, and I had to go through that to learn. And so did the people that actually set up and tried to kill him. You know what I'm saying? Tried to harm him and harm us. Um, I just want you guys to know that no matter what you're facing in life, you can break the tie. And it's not just the soul ties. It's any ties that you have with anything. Soul ties, it can be created through drugs, alcohol, all that stuff. Like it is not just what people if you connecting yourself to it, it's a soul tie. So I just want people to be more mindful of what it is that they're giving themselves to and their time to, because at the end of the day, you don't have a lot of time on this earth.
Without a doubt, it's very important, and I always say it's very important that you protect your peace. Protect it. Protect yourself, protect your peace. And like you said, be mindful of what you are allowing inside of you, inside of your life, inside of your mind, inside of your body. Just be mindful. Be mindful.
Yes.
So October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I do have the 23 Days of Love Talk Challenge going on now in efforts to raise money for the Knitted Knockers Foundation. And I am asking my supporters to support me in this cause by donating $23 to Radiant Love, which will be donated to the Knitted Knockers Foundation. So what is some advice that you can give to someone that may be going through a hard time or has gone through a hard time?
Other than the things that I just said, I want to say that to have a more successful, healthier life, you need to develop a prayer life. You need to meditate more. You need to be more centered with yourself. A lot of people get so thrown off of the things that they want and need in life that they don't pay attention to the things that are supposed to be for you. You don't really pay attention to, you pay attention to all of the things that are happening outside of your aurora, outside of your circle. I'm gonna look up all of these spiritual terms. I don't got them all, but I think I know where I'm going with this. The all of the things that you let inside of your inner atmosphere, it can't be seen. It can be seen through works of action and conversation, but automatically, like if a person see you, I'm not gonna know what type of person you are. You know what I'm saying? I don't think my discernment is that on point. But if I have a conversation with somebody, I'm gonna know for sure. And I say that to say, when you are more mindful of yourself, you are more mindful of others. You have to really pay attention to the type of person that you are, because it's going to open the door to the types of relationships that you have with other people. And I forgot to say something that relates to that. Being spiritually and emotionally bonded to someone they deeply resent. As far as, no, I'm gonna say it like this because I can only tell you through experience. I knew someone wasn't being themselves, but I still thought that I could change them. I still thought that I could make them be what I needed them to be. Okay, and I didn't even know who I was. Like, I was on the right path, but I ultimately didn't know. And because I wasn't conscious of who I was, I resented him because I was praying that he could help me be that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because he came in a time in my life where I needed to be loved. I needed to feel no. I need to feel some type of love because the love that I wanted from him, he couldn't give it to me, not truthfully, and I couldn't give it to him because I wasn't giving it to myself. So the message that I am leaving to you all is love yourself first. It's so cliche. People say it all the time. But if you really don't know yourself and if you really don't love yourself, you can never love someone else.
So true. So true. And I always promote and encourage self-love. Self-love is literally the best love, y'all. So get in tune with yourselves, like she said, because self-love is literally the best love. And again, I just want to thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. And I just want to thank you for being a guest. And I just want to give you a brief seconds before the time runs out to just say whatever is on your heart.
Okay. So something that's on my heart, it's been on my mind for a very long time, and I'm about to speak to people who probably are fighting the battle and fighting against themselves. So every day I wake up and I don't know what I want to be. And it's okay because I'm going in the right direction. It's not about the steps that you should take. It's about the steps that you are taking. You know, people get so accustomed to the thing. Oh, I wanted to have this by 25, and I wanted to do this by 21, and like you have to pace yourself. The church I used to go to, he was like, know your process. And I that's another philosophy that I definitely go by. Know your process, and your process is yours. It's no one else's. I'm in my lane, you in your lane. Nobody, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna finish before you, but even if I do, I'm gonna show you the way. I'm going to show you what it is that I did to get where I'm. You know what I'm saying? That's how different spirits are created, like envious spirits and jealous spirits. When you see what a person has, you don't know what the fuck I had to do to get it, bitch. So it's like you gotta really understand that things come in time. They I was not this confident 2 years ago. I'm gonna say I got my first in college now. I got my first lead, my first solo, my last year, my senior year, and it's because I didn't believe in myself. It's because I didn't trust myself, and I didn't believe that I could do it. Like I could do that, And now that I go and I look at old videos and I was like, wow, I was really in the presence of God. I was doing this. And if you keep God first, if you ask him to help you, man, he really will, especially if your intentions are pure. Like, and sometimes my intention is not pure. And he still leads me and guides me. But that's all about grace and mercy. And I found myself. Okay, so when I was insecure, I found myself in a lot of self-pity, self-loathe. And I think that's why I started creating soul ties with people, because I wanted to feel what they were feeling. Okay? And I wanted what they had. I wasn't a jealous person, but I was an envious woman. And it wasn't, you could be envious and still a good person. You really can. It's just all about your intentions.
Yes.
So I think the difference between is I wanted what they had, so I would learn them the right way. I would befriend them, and I would get to know them as a person. And that's another way I've gotten hurt so many times. Like, because of my intentions, if they weren't pure, I ended up getting hurt. So I got a relationship with this boy, And it was because of my intentions.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say that now. Like, I couldn't say that a few months ago. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, this bitch did this shit to me. It takes time for you to heal, no doubt about it. It takes time for you to heal from the things that you put yourself to, what you allowed to happen, and the things that people put you through as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because it takes two. It takes two to tango. And sorry. And the decisions that I have made when regarding my soul ties, like the people I was connected to, I'm gonna say that the people I was connected to, they benefit from it more than I.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized that the type of, even now, the fresh, like, I'm looking back, okay, right now I'm self-employed, I'm singing mostly. I no longer work at the school that I was at, but I still go, I help the choir here and there, whatever. But the thing is, I'm believing God. You know what I'm saying? I've been without a job since August. And now it's like, it's a hardship, but it's not. Because
Mm-hmm.
I have people that love me and care about me and they take care of me. And I get gigs and things like that, but it's all about what I believe can happen
Mm-hmm.
and what I believe
Yes.
God can do. Um,
Yes.
I know I'm going all over the place, but it's like,
And I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't want the live to end on us because we almost reaching an hour.
okay,
So I just want to thank you so much for being a guest. And like I said, we are gonna do this again because I'm gonna go and do my research on soul ties so that I can get a better understanding. And we are gonna definitely do this again. So again, I just want to, huh?
Do you understand? Like,
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have a general understanding, and I just want to dig deeper into it and learn different, like you were talking about your love languages and just, the positive and the negative soul ties. So what I'm going to do is do some research, and I'm going to get with you, and we're going to do this again here on Love Talk. Yes. So again, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And again, I want to thank you for being a guest. And I just want to drop that, the National Domestic Violence Hotline again. The number is 1-800-799-7233. Please don't be ashamed. Don't be scared. Just use the hotline. Reach out to resources. Reach out to people. Let them know if something is wrong.
Yes.
So y'all remember to tune in all month long to Love Talk for the 23 Days of Love Talk Challenge and support me in the cause by donating $23 to Radiant Love, which will be donated to the Knitted Knockers Foundation. Yes. All the information on how you can donate will be posted and is posted on my page. So again, Sunj, I just want to say thank you, and thank y'all for tuning in, and y'all have an awesome night. Good night, y'all.
Good night.